Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, I'm going to do a discussion about what's going on today with regards to the protests and the riots, with the problems with immigration, with the problem of the current government and governments past. But I want to start with a woman called Donna Jones. Donna Jones is the Police and Crime Commissioner for Hampshire. Now, she has put a post up in which how can we put this, almost justifies what's going on over the last few days. And she's kind of said it's the government's fault. That what's happening now is the result of government policy. And she's blaming particularly Keir Starmer. And she says there is a reason that he is two-tier Keir because of the way he is bringing in laws. He's bringing in directions for the police that will treat right-wing protesters differently from left-wing protesters. It seems if you're a right-wing protester, you're far-right, fascist, and so on, regardless of policy, and regardless of whether you're breaking the law or just standing there and expressing an opinion. Whereas if you're a left-wing protester, then you are marvellous and lovely, and you are perfect and, and vulnerable and needing protection. And it's bollocks. Now, obviously, the problems that are coming out over the last few days, they're not the problems of the last few days. This has been something that has been growing in this country for a long, long time. From 7/7 through to the Manchester bombings, Lee Rigby, and so on. And it culminated with the murder in the streets of 3 young children. The pressure has been there for a long time. It's been like a volcano, bubbling away, bubbling harder, 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 until now, boom, it's erupted. And the lava has flowed across the whole of Britain, and the fires are burning everywhere. Sometimes quite literally. Now, Donna Jones, she's put this post up, and she says that this civil unrest and this looting, rioting, and whatever, over and above protesting now, we're talking about all the other stuff, she said it has risen to what she calls a worrying level. I don't think she's right, it's a very worrying level. But she says it is, as I say, down to Keir Starmer and his two-tier policing. Now, Keir Starmer wants to bring in what he calls the violent crime units. It's what we would have called in the 80s the SPG, the Special Patrol Groups, who would go in with snatch squads and just bish, bash, bosh, pull people out, throw them in a paddy wagon and bang, take them away. There was no issues. And she wants to bring them back, or he wants to bring them back. But she's saying, of course, it would only be for the right, the protests on the right, not the protests on the left. So you wouldn't see anyone like that at, say, a Palestine march, but you would if it was an anti-immigration march and so forth. She's saying that we need to uphold British values. We need to stop immigration. We need to, stop immigration immediately till we can sort out what is going on and get this country calmed down and united and back to normal. And that the government must acknowledge its part in the problem. And this is where she's sort of blaming Keir Starmer, because she's saying that his practices and policies are treating the symptoms but not the cause, and that the British government under Starmer cannot admit the cause because they are, of course, the cause. Because ultimately this started in 1997, and it was what we could call the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Blair, Brown, Mandelson, and Campbell. And the way that they decided to use mass immigration to basically give a punishment beating to the British. And Blair has admitted this subsequently, that he wanted to show them. He wanted to show them. And it was like literally that. And it was a viciousness. And that's why he did it. And it's been simmering. And the British people, I got to say, have been very patient for a long time. And now they're no longer patient. And throughout all of this, over this weekend, Who said anything? No one. Where's Yvette Cooper? She hasn't said a dicky bird. She's been noticeable by her silence. She's not appeared on camera. She's not out. She's the Home Secretary, for God's sake. She should be there. She should be calling for calm. She should be calling to unite the government, unite the country. And Starmer, again, another one, nowhere to be seen because he needs to have family time and he doesn't work after 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever on a Friday because his wife and children are Jewish and he wants to have that important Jewish time with them. And that's absolutely fine, 9 times out of 10. And then he doesn't like to work weekends because he wants family time. And again, that's absolutely fine, 9 times out of 10. But this weekend is not that 10th time, it's not that 9 times out of 10. This is this 10th time. We need a full-time Prime Minister. We need a Prime Minister who stands up and does the job, not disappears off when things get a bit rough. If he cannot give his all to the job of being a Prime Minister, then he needs to find another job. Because the job of Prime Minister isn't 9 till 5, 5 days a week. It's 24/7, 365. And if he cannot commit to that, then he is unfit to be a Prime Minister. And I think we can all agree that he's most definitely unfit to be the Prime Minister of this country at a time like this. So why aren't they out there uniting the party, uniting the country, bringing people together, calming the situation down? I personally think they want this to continue. They want it to go bad. They want the riots. And the reason they want them is because the longer it goes on, the worse it gets, the more justified they feel they are in bringing in very, very draconian, anti-British, I suppose, control orders, laws. You won't be able to go anywhere, do anything. You have to show your papers. You'll have to have ID. They'll bring in curfews. There will be a mass control of the population on a scale unseen, probably since Soviet Russian times. There will be secret police. There will be movement control. And that, I think, is why they are doing nothing, so that they can justify this when they go into Parliament tomorrow, have an emergency meeting and pass emergency laws, which will be emergency short-term laws, which will somehow magically transmogrify into the permanent law of this country. And it must be resisted. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.